We're at the county stormwater facility here at the Elmhurst Quarry. It was built in 1996. We all know the devastating flooding we had back in the late 80s. And this is where the water comes in. And when we open the gates at that point at a flood stage, we basically are bringing in half of Salt Creek, about 720,000 gallons of water a minute.
So I'll go over there, open that up. If you guys want to stay here, and then you can come and join me. I only opened it about a foot, maybe a little further. But in an actual flood event, we will open it all 7 feet.
It's funny, when we first had it, Elmhurst said, you'll never fill this quarry. We've filled it 7 times already. All this devastating flooding we've had. So it's a sight to see for sure. It goes across Route 83, 80 feet deep, 400 feet long, 14 feet wide. So it's a very large pipe that goes across and dumps out into the quarry on the other side. Back in the old days, you used to hand crank them. Now, thank goodness, with technology, our staff would have to come out here and actually physically open the gates. Now, they can actually do it from their laptop at home. You can see where it's already gone down several inches. You can see the watermark down. And when we open it, we divert about half of the flow of Salt Creek into the facility. 720,000 gallons of water a minute start coming into here. A lot of water. So here's the vortex that spins the water around, gets the air out and shoots it down across Route 83.
You can see why I think of this as the coolest part. I mean, there's just so much power and so much force coming in.
Now, where you saw all the water that was coming down under Route 83 is that opening over there. And then during big events, this basically looks like a scene out of Colorado. The water will flow down the riprap and it will come all the way down. And this is the west lobe. This is about 100 feet deep. And it goes across the keyhole here into the east lobe, which is about 200 feet deep. So this is one of the observation points for the west lobe. Again, a lot of people don't know that this is right here in Elmhurst.
Just below us, where we're standing over, is the actual pump station. The way this works is that the east lobe pumps into the west lobe, and the west lobe pumps up 120 feet all the way back over to the aeration facility on the other side of Route 83. And then that's where it makes its way back into Salt Creek.
We get a lot of calls from people and go, my backyard flooded. And I said, well, did your house flood? They said, no. I said, well, that's great. That's our job. Make sure structures don't flood. And when there's bad days and you're getting a lot of water and a lot of areas are flooding, you feel really bad for those people, but you try to do as much as you can. Yeah, when this thing fills up, like I said, people said you would never fill it up. It will never happen. You'll never get that much water. And we fill it up. We fill it up to the top.
When the creek starts to come up and water starts to come up from the rain, water has to go somewhere. And it's either going to go over bank and into streets, homes, parking lots, ponds, or if we can divert some of it off, half of Salt Creek, 1,600 cubic feet per second, which is 720,000 gallons per minute, we can pull off at the peak of an event and put into the quarry. So that's 720,000 gallons per minute that is not going into neighborhoods and not going downstream to be someone else's problem. We're bringing it in, we're holding on to it for safekeeping until floodwaters recede, and then we put it right back into Salt Creek where it came from.
Flooded facilities are kind of like insurance. It's there, you hope you don't have to use it, but when you have to use it, it's there and it helps a lot.